I want to start, obviously, with the Charlie Kirk assassination. You know, following the shooting last week, President Trump had been given several opportunities to call for healing and to bring down the temperature. But instead, he largely responded by blaming the quote-unquote radical left and basically blaming the left for all that ails the country, including political violence. And I don't know if you were surprised by that, necessarily by his response, but were you bothered by it?
Well, again, thanks for having me here, and I want to thank the Atlantic Festival, and thank you all for the warm welcome. I knew Charlie Kirk. Met him in the campaign in 2016. He's a dynamic young man, a good, godly young man, devoted husband and father of two beautiful young children. And as I sit here today, I'm just heartsick about what happened last week. I understand the anger that so many feel around the country, including, I think, the president. But there is no place in America for political violence, and it should be universally condemned. I want to commend law enforcement in Utah, Tim. I spoke yesterday to Governor Spencer Cox, who I think really distinguished himself in the thoughtful way that he articulated the efforts of the Utah law enforcement working with federal officials to be able to apprehend the perpetrator of the crime within 33 hours was a great credit to law enforcement at every level, but also a great credit to the good people of Utah who responded quickly and admirably. You know, the Bible says you mourn with those who mourn and grieve with those who grieve. And I think it's important that in the wake of this national tragedy that we take time simply to grieve the loss of life that occurred here. But I also believe we need to resist the temptation to put America on trial. I mean, absent any additional evidence, one man was responsible for the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That man is now in custody, and now comes justice. And while with this rising tide of political violence that we've seen on both sides of the aisle, I understand the deep concern. I don't think we ever want to lose sight of the fact of personal responsibility and the need for every American to focus on holding those accountable who would perpetrate this violence in the name of politics or for any other reason. Now, all that being said, Charlie Kirk probably had some differences with people in this room. I probably do too.
No.
But that's okay.
No.
He was a champion of freedom of speech. He went, as I've sought to do since I left office, he went to campuses. It was a year and a half ago. I was at the UVU campus speaking with students. I was at George Mason University just yesterday. It's been a great joy for me. But he took that case, that conservative youth case, to campuses everywhere. He was, in a very real sense, he was a champion for the freedom of speech. And I truly do believe that we need to make sure that part of his legacy is a continuation of the vitality of freedom of speech for every American for years to come.